Hi everyone, Lee here, aka HRManifesto, and I'm back to narrate some more tragic work realities that I have found on the internets. I was reading the news again, which means, of course, I was scrolling the Facebook, and I came across a Buzzfeed article. And this one is basically all the crazy shit leaders have told their people. That's not the title. Let me get to it. This is why I don't write for Buzzfeed, because I can't think of a catchy title. 21 cringe-worthy things people's bosses actually said to them. I'll drop the link, of course, to this video below. But once again, I'm here reading through the interwebs, just like, OMG, I can't believe people would say this to other people. So the lesson here is that if you are a manager out there, do not say this stuff. Do not. Oh my goodness, your retention, I swear to God, it's going to tank. People do not want to work for assholes, okay? And that's the number one reason why people leave, is because their boss is toxic. Number two being culture. But please, Google servant leadership. Please be a better leader. Commit to being a better leader. If you have said any of these things, my gosh, it's never too late to apologize either. But don't say these things. That's the coaching. That's the key coaching from this video. If these things have been said to you, I hope you're not in the same workplace. I hope that you ran because they don't deserve you. You should always be treated with dignity and respect. And find an exit plan if you're not being treated with dignity and respect in your workplace. So for leaders, what not to say, and for employees, what not to tolerate. So I hope these don't resonate with either party that are watching. Okay, so let's jump in here. Oh, God. Number one, and these are just short little quotes. Well, I'm long-winded. I can't promise you this video won't be long. But they're short, okay? They're not full stories. They're just quotes. All right, number one. I once told my supervisor I couldn't cover a shift because a close family friend had passed away and the shift was the day of his funeral. My supervisor told me I had to bring in a death certificate. Oh my goodness. So I have had supervisors do this, not my own, people that I support, right? From a client perspective, an HR client perspective. Why? Why? I've had people actually fake death certificates. Yeah, like try to get off. Maybe that's why the supervisors were asking for one. Not in that case, but yeah, I've had people do that, and they offered their death certificate, which is weird. That's always a red flag. I wouldn't just offer up a death certificate, especially when you weren't asked for one, because then it's like, why the hell are they giving me a death certificate? Oh my goodness, it's probably not real, and it wasn't real. Do not, oh my God, bad juju, do not say your grandma died when she's not dead. That's like putting a curse on her. That is not good. Ooh, bad, bad, bad juju. Okay, number two. One day our area manager came into the workplace, stared at my chest, and said, "I see why you got the job." Do not, do not make comments on other people's bodies, okay? We still do frown upon that. Oh my goodness. No, no, no. Do not say that. All right, number three. I was finishing up my shift for the day and I asked my manager if there was anything else he wanted me to do before I left. He responded, "Yeah, go in the bathroom and lick the toilet seat." It would take all that I had to not respond with a quick fuck you on that one. It really would. Yeah, yeah. Whew, boy. God, that's ugly as hell. All right, so I hope that person has an exit plan, is no longer working there. Number four, I politely asked my manager for an availability change due to religious obligations, and he told me I had to choose between my job and God. These people, they walk among us, they really do. What a jerk. All right. A lot of these are probably illegal, okay? Like, you probably shouldn't do a lot of these things. So wonderful lessons for all of us. Enjoy the coaching. Number five, I'm very allergic to nuts, and my colleague was eating trail mix near me. My cheeks became red and warm, so I took a Benadryl. And while I was waiting for it to kick in, my boss's boss said, "You know that nobody takes you seriously when you look like a clown, right?" I'm making an assumption it's because of the blush. Oh, rude. Rude as hell. Again, never a great practice to make comments on other people's bodies, their parts, their faces, you name it. Rude as hell. Person's about to go to anaphylactic shock, but okay. And I'm sure they were probably struggling to breathe too. So you'd be like, "Are you okay?" That should be like the normal thing to say, but no, not in this workplace. I hope they're okay and they had their EpiPen. Number 6, my boss told me I dropped the ball. My boss told me, quote, I dropped the ball by going into labor on my due date. Okay. Remember, everyone's human. They have lives outside of work. Number 7, I had to quit my job as a sous chef. That's a hard word for me. As a sous chef. Because my father was dying and my sister and I were the only ones taking care of him in home hospice. Oh, God. When I told my boss why I was quitting, he screamed, "Everyone dies. It's not like you can save him." Then he lamented that he wished he could just hire robots. Oh man, if that was my dad, I, I, I probably would have quit, to be honest with you. Ah, gosh. I would have quit too. I mean, working for a guy like that. That's another one where I probably would have done an expletive rant. They may have called the cops. I don't know, all the heightened emotion. Oh, God, what a jerk. I'm glad that person is out of there. Screw them. They didn't deserve them. Sorry to hear about the dad. Number 8, my boss told me that I was really pretty, but that I needed a boob job to be the, quote, whole package. She then proceeded to tell me the different options and what size she thought would look best on me. Okay. Has anyone had their boss comment on you like that? My God. Sorry, I'm not perfect for you. Weird. That's totally weird. I'd be like, whoa, stop, pause. This is not appropriate conversation. I'm not comfortable in this conversation. So I'm going to exit right now before this gets worse. I do talk like that. Sometimes you have to. I'm trained to talk like that, maybe. Whoa, pause. Nope. Cut it off right here. Number 9. I'm a Malaysian living in the UK, and I worked at a fast food place when I was a student here. During my first week, my boss asked me to leave my station to take an order for an Asian customer. "You look alike, yes?" she asked. "Maybe you'll understand him better." From his accent, I could tell he was British. Okay. Oh, oh my goodness. She just made the assumption without even talking to him. Okay. Racist much. Number 10, I worked at a bakery for 4 years and loved my job. God, I'd love the hell out of that job too. Dangerous. I once worked at a Tex-Mex restaurant and I gained like 10, 15 pounds. But anyway, I worked at a bakery for 4 years and loved my job. But when I mentioned to my manager that the freezer door would shut automatically behind me and my coworkers, locking us in, she stopped giving me shifts. Months later, I emailed her and she told me that they'd given my job to someone else because I was a whiny bitch. I never set foot into that store again. Okay. Safety. Hello, OSHA. My God. But yeah, whiny bitch because you could freeze to death. Anyway, always focus on safety. Safety, key. First and foremost, everyone should return home just as they arrived to work in one piece. All right, number 11. I went back to work after a long period off after losing my daughter. And my manager said, "Don't worry, you're still young enough to have another." That's another one where you kind of get the automatic FU, Oh, I'm probably not, I'm probably not going to be working there for long. Today's my last day. Oh, ooh, rude as hell. Rude as hell. Probably a sociopathic narcissist, if I had to guess. Number 12, my former boss told me that my being a married gay man made everyone uncomfortable because he and his friends couldn't be guys around me. What? Okay. Rude. And it sounds like he has the complex. Yeah, don't put it on other people. Anyways, number 13. I went to a manager to report that a coworker had made threats about raping me, saying that if he shut the door of the maintenance closet, no one would have any idea what he was doing in there. The manager responded, "The store is big enough, you can stay away from him." I do not freaking think so. I hope you escalated to ombuds, corporate, the CEO. Report that up. Report that to somebody. And how dare that manager not take that seriously, because those things do happen in the workplace. And it's tragic and it's horrific. If someone shows you who they are, believe them. That guy had already been planning things, okay? Not cool. Take action if you're a manager. Do not let any of those things slide. People don't just talk, especially not anymore. I wear a hijab, and my former boss once said that I look so much pretty without that towel on my head. Rude. Number 15. I was made fire marshal of the building, which meant that during a fire drill or real fire, I had to be the last one out to make sure everyone got out of the building. My boss told me I was selected because I didn't have kids or a family to go home to, so basically I was selected to die because I was child-free and single. WTF. Wow. That's next level. Rude as hell. Talk about lack of dignity and respect. Holy shit. Oh, okay. I've not heard that one. That's pretty freaking cruel. Oh God, that's another one. I hope they're in a better place, and I don't mean the afterlife because of the fire they got in a fire. I mean, I hope they've found another place of employment. All right, number 16. My coworker and I. That didn't make sense. Number 16. My coworker and I were both scheduled to come in late one day. Well, he beat me to work by a few minutes, and when I walked in, I joked, "Ah, you beat me here. You're making me look bad." My boss, who heard, responded, "Trust me, you don't need anyone else to make you look bad." My coworkers fell silent, and I just laughed awkwardly from pure embarrassment. There's a lot of things you can't joke about when you're a leader. Performance like that is one. Praise in public and develop in private. You can't even make little jokes. You really can't. 17. I had a boss tell me once, "We'll talk when you are less emotional." Okay. Like emotions are bad? It's us just being human, but okay. Okay, I got it. A better way to say that is, "Hey, let's table this discussion for now, and let's come back to it when we have clarity of mind," right? When we're both okay to proceed. I would never be like, "You are too emotional to talk." Ooh. It's a bit cringy. Okay, number 18. I had to get an emergency hysterectomy, and my boss told me that if I went through with the surgery, my man would leave me because I'd be a, quote, "useless woman." Just for the record, you do not owe your employer any sort of elaboration, details on your health or medical stuff. Most employers are using third parties to help process leaves, etc. You had an emergency. Same thing if you you need to take any sort of time off for PTO. That's all your business. You do that. They're like, "Why? Why are you taking vacation?" Because you ask me freaking questions like this. What do you mean, why? Don't micromanage me. It's none of your damn business. It's none of their business. Man, that's rude. That is rude. All right, number 19. Once, a boss asked me if I could just tone down my confidence and bubbly personality. He said it was making other employees depressed. So when I read this one at first, this reminded me of how a manager told me nearly the same thing, and to tone it down, to be less me, to water myself down basically, because other people felt less than. Now, if somebody tells you that, it's because they do see you elevated, right? They do see you as, wow, They wish they could probably be that. And they want you down at their level, right? And so they will do anything and everything to try and bring you down so that they can feel more comfortable with who they are. But remember, you're not responsible for how other people feel about themselves. You are not. And whatever's going on here and here with other people, do not put that on you, that you're responsible to be less than so that someone else can be more so. 100% no. Yeah, I got a little upset when I had that conversation. It really pissed me off. It really, really did, because how dare you, right? How dare you to tell me to be less of who I am, so that people can feel more comfortable about who they are, or who they can't be. I don't know. It's a weird one, right? But here, I mean, it's definitely she's not responsible for other people's mental illness, depression. I'm sure they said this in a cheeky way, not a literal clinical way that someone is depressed, but you're making people feel sad because you're so happy and confident. What? No, there's better ways to say that. But that one pisses me off, and a lot of times it's said to females too, which pisses me off extra. So you just keep being you, no matter who you are, okay? Because guess what? Who you are is your differentiator. It's what literally makes you special. And so you keep being more of that, because that is rare around these parts, and that's why it pisses people off, because they wish they had what you had, and they focus on that of what they don't have as opposed to focusing on what they do have and having that be their differentiator, right? They don't get that, right? They haven't got there yet. So you keep being you because you're badass at it, and no one else can be it. And don't you dare tell other people not to be them, because you wish you could be them. You want them to be less of so you can be more of. I hate that. All right, number 20. I was completely upfront during the interview process about being a single dad. Well, when I had to leave on time one day after a 10-hour shift, my boss asked, "Don't you have someone to do that for you? Send her to your ex-wives." Don't get in the middle between an employee and their children. Do not do that. Do not do that with their loved ones, their friends, their furry pets, you name it. Wherever their heart goes and wherever their heart's tied to, do not get in the middle of that. Because if an employee has to choose, God, I hope they choose that loved one every single time. So don't you dare do that. That is a terrible practice. Don't you have someone to do that for you? And it's the dad. Oh, God. Probably some stereotypes coming out there too and whatnot. Some gender norms, mores, whatever. Pick a word, a big word I can't think of. All right, number 21. This is the last one. It's ridiculous. I was eating a banana at my desk, and my boss stopped by to tell me that women should never eat bananas at work. We do not deserve potassium. And that, I added that last part, and that if we absolutely insist on eating one, we should break it into pieces instead of eating it, quote, banana style, because penises. So we don't get fruit now? We don't get potassium? Oh my God. Lame. That's ridiculous. Wow. Boy, that is something else. And apologies, I shouldn't say lame. It's ableist. Just not cool from this manager. All right. Does your manager say any of this sort of shit to you? My God. I've had managers, like I just shared with you, say some similar things to me. I don't work for those people anymore. So remember, you should always be treated with dignity and respect everywhere you go. And especially work, because my goodness, we spend more time there, don't we, than we do in most other places. So if you're hearing these things, think about it, correct delicately if you can, create that exit strategy if it's pervasive and incessant bullying, like some of these indicate they may be. I wish you much success in your workplace and all the happiness in the world. Whew, do not tolerate this crap from anybody, your boss included. All right, best of luck out there.